Ganz herzlich willkommen zu unserer 17. Ausgabe Chat with Funky Space. Ich heiße euch alle herzlich willkommen. Neben mir sitzt wie jedes Mal bisher meine liebe Freundin Toni und ich möchte ihr heute ein kleines Kränzchen winden zu dem, was sie immer wieder bereit ist, hier auch zu leisten, zu geben. Ich möchte sogar ausdrücken, zu schenken. Für mich ist es sehr besonders, teilnehmen und teilhaben zu dürfen an ihrem Prozess, wie sie neben mir sich konzentriert und wirklich in sich geht. Es ist etwas sehr Besonderes, mit Worten schier nicht beschreibbar, nicht in Worte zu fassen, was da abgeht. Ich spüre es jedes Mal physisch, wirklich wie eine Wärmewelle, die ausströmt von ihr. Und ich fühle mich in dem Sinn begabt, beschenkt für diese Augenblicke hier mit teilnehmen zu dürfen an diesem Prozess, wo sie durchgeht, und sehe auch da drin, was sie für eine Begabung, eine Hochbegabung, eine enorme Sensitivität hier mit mir teilt, mit uns allen somit auch teilt. Durch sie spricht eine Dimension, möchte ich hier sagen, in dem Moment durch Milady spricht diese Dimension, die uns so viel mathematische, aber auch, wir bezeichnen es als Mathematik, Verhältnisangaben, eine Kraft, eine Schwingung, ich möchte auch sagen eine Frequenz, ein Bewusstsein, welches so holistisch sich darbietet, wie gesagt, dass ich es in Worte nicht fassen kann und jedes Mal nur dankbar daneben sitze und interagieren kann mit diesem Space Radio, welches sich meldet. Ja, ich höre es. Es ist
hello
da.
Again.
Herzlich
Hello
willkommen.
Again.
So
hello
schön.
Again. Yes, hello. Space Radio.
Yeah.
Funky Space and also Stone Age. And I have really to say Stone Age again today. It was a word which I didn't use that much in the last sessions or in the last speaking.
Ja.
And I really need to say it again because it's a very, let me say, actually topic which I need to tell you and which to have transformed the mathematics, that you are informed about what's going on in your world. And I know that you have also questions like always, but I know that right now the world also want to know, about what is going on, about how they have, what's life for right now in your world? What is also the dreams that you have? What is also the wishes that you wish for your family or for your children?
Ja, ganz konkret.
And it's also a situation which for a lot of people it's a very big question mark. And we can feel that. And every time when we spoke together and when we told you, the world is starting to change, and it's starting to change in a very, let me say, way which is not very, I need to say, not very healthy for human beings and for animals and the world itself. And even in that, there is hope, and this is what we want to say today. Even in all that, there is hope for everybody. But
darf ich da kurz hineingrätschen? Ich wäre wirklich dankbar, wenn Sie es auch aus diesem ganzen Anliegen des Weltfriedens, aus dieser Perspektive, dem Umgang von uns Menschen in einem friedlichen Umgang mit Mensch und Natur, wenn Sie da uns helfen, da hinein aus dieser Perspektive reinzukommen. Ich denke, es ist auch ein Anliegen der Menschheit, der Gesellschaft per se. Auch wenn wir sehr verstritten und in Kriegen uns befinden, grundsätzlich dieses Anliegen ist da. dass Sie uns da helfen. Danke.
So I want to start, with something, or I want to tell you, this perspective and how we can see it right now. Yeah. It is like, having lots of tribes in your world which are conflicted against this country, against these people, against this. And, everybody wants to change something in your world. So it's like actively you want to change something. But at the end, what you want to change. So you made your world, your ancestor made your world, you made it for years, for decades, on what you right now want to destroy. And this is something which, every human being should really think about it. There is nobody who can say we didn't have this and we didn't have that. Many are saying, we want more. Yeah. But at the end, what do you want more? Why you just say, okay, we divide things. For everybody, it's the same thing. And for everybody, it's also love to share and not hate. And love was always there, but you transform it to hate and you transform it to war. So this is something which you also need to know. Everything was there in your world many decades ago, and it's still there also today. Yeah. But many people want always more than that. And having more than that, it's greed. And want to have more than that, it's also not living in a peaceful way. And it's so human that people say, well, you want to destroy something, you need more than we can always share something, but give us also a piece of all that, So the people which wants to have more, the contribution that you give to the world to have more, the thoughts that you give to the world to need and to have and to transform everything in more just for one tribe or for one country. You need to think about that. As long as you're not sharing things and sharing in a good way, the world and also the earth is transforming the world in a different place that you have right now. That's why also the material world, the world in earth, the world in water, the world in fire, is just giving you the answer on all that. To transform all that you just are, open your eyes to see that you can't have it, because the world is transforming it and just putting it or pushing it away. So if, just giving a simple example, if you want to have an island because you like this island and you want to live on this island and you want to bring your family to this island, but this island is just, having, other people lived there before, and they say, well, it was our country or it was our island, but we can share the place. But one is just saying, no, it's just ours. So that what I want to say in mathematics, this island transformed the mathematics in something bad, and it transformed it that there is no island anymore. So it's not for the one and it's not for the second person or for the tribe. So what I mean with that and that I have to transform the mathematics that you can understand what's going on. So the countries which think, that with war or just to put, people beside or just transform it to something they just want it for themselves, the earth itself transformed the people.
Yeah.
The earth itself transforms now, also what it's giving and what it's taking. Yeah. So if you just want to battle for something which you want to have because you think that you have the right to have it, it will just transform itself in something that nobody can live there anymore. And this is like the response on all what you're doing right now on many countries. And you did also many countries back in decades. And I don't speak only on decades, the last 100 years. But if you're looking back in history, there were many, many places where for many people, for many tribes, they couldn't live anymore there because it was not for living for nobody.
Yeah.
And this is what the earth, the mathematics of the earth is doing now. And that's why we talk many times about earthquake. We talk many times about catastrophic things going on. And this is what will, just, it's like an uploading of the world mathematics. And I need to speak it out like that you can understand it. That the world mathematics transform these places, a place for nobody.
Also
and so for what you are battling for.
Sie sprechen aus, dass diese Naturkatastrophen, die aktuell ja wirklich auch vonstatten gehen, an verschiedenen Orten auf der ganzen Welt, dass das die Antwort im Augenblick ist auf unser desillusioniertes Verhalten per se.
Exactly. And this is something that you learn history, you read about history, and you think that being and living in the 21st decade now, century, you can own everything and you can transform everything to a place. Well, sometimes there are people, there are tribes, they want to share things, but it's always, also the money behind, that they want. It's not a sharing, with, okay, we can share it, that you can have also your family there, that you can grow your family and your children, and that you have food and a place and a shelter. It's always, the thinking of being better. If I have more, I am better, and I have a better place in the world.
Ja, ist immer noch hierarchisch.
Extremely, and that's what we are seeing as well. Exactly, and in our mathematics now, this is transforming. And this makes, and this is a very, I need to say also big word, and this makes people also afraid. So all the earthquakes that you had now in the past, and they are more showing up now this year. I always told that this year is a very transforming, let me say, a transforming year in the four natural forces, and it transformed the world in a different place where right now you can't and you don't know how it will transform it. So
in diesem Jahr,
exactly,
2024.
It starts to transform it, and it starts to transform. And we spoke also in other sessions and podcasts that it transformed the mathematics into something which, for you as human being, you're starting to be afraid.
Yeah.
And this is also something to say, it is also your work, because you want always too much. And now the world and the earth is transforming the places and taking you that away.
Oh, yeah.
And this is something that you need to understand. The world, that the earth, the planet Earth, is a planet which had also millions of years ago no human beings. And you know very well that the world can also exist without human beings and with less human beings. It's not something that it's needed. It is it's a comfort place for many people to be, but there is also no comfort for many people to stay.
Yeah.
And this is something completely different, and it's also something transforming. And now what I want to say with that is really the thinking about that you own the world. And I told it also in other sessions, nobody owns anything. The world is itself a place where everybody can be and live in peace. But when you start to transform it, it will just give you the answer.
Ja, was eine weise Antwort oder Reaktion, eine Interaktion, sich überhaupt zu zeigen und die Kräfte anzuzeigen, sprich die Menschheit wie mit in diesen Schlund zu ziehen, oder? Der wahren Gerechtigkeit, der Wahrhaftigkeit im Grunde genommen. Was wirklich von bestehendem Wert ist, auch weil, ja.
And we spoke about the frequency, when we go back, in also the first sessions we had, we spoke about the gravity, we spoke about the frequency, and you see it right now in your world, well, not in your personal world, but so many things are changing, so many,
das ist tatsächlich so.
Yes, also, planes losing metal pieces, it's something which will just go on, and it is gravity also behind that. And with gravity, I mean, you don't have as a human being the solution, and it's something which you need to understand, the solution to work in gravity, to just get it away. You can't transform gravity, even if you think with all your elements that you have in your world, you can transform gravity because you think that you are so intelligent, you can't stop gravity to be. And this is something that you need to understand. So also, thinking that you just can own also the universe and go to other planets. It's something that you started. It's not so many years, in the meaning of how old the world and the mathematics is, that you think that you can do it, and you can just fly to the moon with your whole family and make vacation up there. It's something, so it's your idea, but to transform that, it needs more than 200 years, and in 200 years nobody of you is there anymore. And what I mean with that is, the places and the bubbles of gravity have their own expansion. And extension as well. And in these extensions, there will be also times ahead. And also starting this year, that they are bubbles, and also, with bubbles, I mean the bubbles of gravity, that you can't fly over that. So also flying is something which, must be, let me say, you need to think to just take a boat, to go somewhere, because gravity just transform also, let me say, the power of transport something. So even if you want to transport something, it's not so easy to do it, because gravity is there to transform, let me say, the static of the air. And also and I told last time that, the world, the next thing which also will transform the world is volcanic ashes. Volcanic ashes has just also the quality and the forces to transform also everything in the air. And this is something that you need to understand, that, you make the world in your wishes. Also 500-600 years ago, people had some visions at that time, but they needed many years, and now it's, many visions which were spoken about also in that time, because you're not the most intelligent people right now. That's why I told also to Stone Ages sometimes. And and they had the visions also 500 years ago, but it transformed 500 years later, or 200 or 300 years later. It depends on what we want to talk about it. So don't think that everything that you put in mind and in your university that you have in your world, you can transform everything, in the next 10 years, and you are, the best solution. You have the best solution for everything. So you need to understand that it takes time, because it is coming from the outside that you can't do it. And so you need also to understand on what is going on in your world, about the tribes, about the wars. That you need to understand that focusing on the mathematics in the forces of the air, in gravity, it transformed the world. It transformed the world. So let me say that having peace in the world is also to give peace to planet Earth. Having war, also that it transforms also very much what you put in the air. Right now we have rockets just flying, all over, and you think, that this doesn't transform, all the ability to what and how you have to live in your world. Now, in your world you're talking about that you don't have that many people or babies showing up. Well, for sure, it transforms also, the surrounding and quality of air. And this is something that you can't understand if you don't have the knowledge of frequency.
Yeah.
So, you are questioning yourself what is going on. We don't have babies in your world, but just look what you're doing to don't have it and get it. So you need to understand, that this transformation in frequency, what frequency are, because in your mind, frequency is something that you just can put, and show up in frequency what you can read for your understanding. But it is something which is much, much bigger. And this is what you can see. Yeah. And we told always also about that this frequency is something that you can't understand with your little brain.
Ja,
Excuse me to say it again.
Ja.
Yes.
Nein, ich kann das gut hören. Ich möchte nochmal zurück auf die Gravitation. Wir tun es auch im Deutschen als Erdanziehung, als Erdschwerkraft bezeichnen. Und das Wort allein zeigt ja auch, dass es ist einfach übersetzt. Es umfasst wie die Dimension nicht.
The complexity of everything.
Darin verstehe ich jetzt Ihre Aussage im Augenblick, wie Sie uns das näher bringen, uns versuchen zu erklären, diese Verhältnisse, die Kräfte, die enorme Energie, die vorhanden ist.
And these forces are also in everything which is earth, which is air, which is water, which is also, you have mountains falling down, you have really, and you will have more because of that as well. So, looking to your world and you're making war for what? You will have so much different problems coming and showing up that you just need also the forces. You need the human being and you need also your brain for that. And you need also people, if you really want to have your world left, you need to live in peace. If you just want to destroy it, you can destroy it, but you will destroy everything. And with destroying everything, I mean that, there will be no tribe left. So there is no people and no government and also no country. If you're seeing yourself as very big and very popular and also very interested in doing war and just making money, just forget it, because it will just flow up down to the river, let me say it like that. So just forget that, because you need to understand that the world itself is a mathematical formula which has, and I always said it's written, but you have always, as a community, as a world community, you have the ability to bring and live in peace. But as soon as you really, really start to destroy that, it's like, it's like something, it's like a crown of something. And you need to understand that also the last years, a lot of people lived in peace because they knew what war was. So they were so interested of not having war again. And now you're just putting all your forces to make war everywhere and all the time. Well, you had also wars, 500-600 years ago. You had it differently, but it was in a different, it was in a different context of what you just make with the war. You let me say 500 years ago, you took your horses and you took your mans and they fight it. And right now you just make and you put everything in danger for the world itself. And at that time, it was more for the people, for the babies, for the families, for the animals, but you didn't destroy it like you are destroying the world right now. And now the world gives you also the answer on all that. And there will be, and I need to say it very clearly, I need to say that there will be also moments that fighting like you're fighting today, you will get the response very, very quick, with a very heavy earthquake in places where you're not waiting for it. You will have a big destruction also in tsunamis and water.
Das hat bereits begonnen.
Yes, and it will get more. Because of all that. So
das ist die Antwort.
It is the answer.
Die elementare Antwort.
So, it's up to you what you want. And we always spoke also in the last sessions, it's really up to you, the mathematics, how you want to change it. All your techniques, how you want to change it. The more you want to have it, the less you will gain in that. It's so easy because you transform your world in a place where you can't live anymore. And do you want that? And also with this artificial intelligence, I need, the mathematics speak about it, that some countries want to have it and some countries don't want to have it. And this is also because the countries which want to have it want to perform, they want to be they want to lead and to guide the world. But
klar.
what happens?
Regulation äußerlich.
Yes, but what it happens because, let me say that frequency, human beings are also frequency. And you need to understand that the more you put artificial intelligence in something, it destroys you as a human being.
Ja, das geht eigentlich wie so
It comes back.
Tinte ins Wasserglas hinein.
Yes, more or less. Yes, because artificial intelligence has just its own, let me say, solution to bring solution. And it's not the solution you want to have it. So that's why it's also very, very dangerous.
Würden Sie da noch ein konkreteres Beispiel?
Well, you're transforming.
Yeah.
You are producing elements. To have more artificial intelligence. You are producing elements.
Yeah.
You are producing computers. You are producing machines to have more. That you just put more computer and more intelligence into something.
Yeah.
But this intelligence, as we talk already once, has its own intelligence, and it doesn't make you have something in your mind. It's like, telling to children, you have to do this, this, and this. And what are the children doing? They do completely the different thing. And doing the different thing, you can stop the machine, you can stop your child because it has a consciousness, it's consciousness and say, okay, if I'm doing that again, my daddy or my mother, they just say, okay, go to your room and we will take you, just for dinner out and then you can eat something. But you can tell that to the machine. Richtig. And this is what we want to say. It regulates itself, the daily business. And daily business with artificial intelligence is more, having a bad influence in many things than just having, a good influence in something. So you need always to understand what is going on right now in your world because of gravity, because of this very higher frequency. It transforms many things into a weapon.
Ja, das ist sehr gut verständlich. Ich danke.
And I think this is a very big word to understand what is going on and what you're doing down there. And you need to understand that. I know that human beings want to know if they are other planets, and they want to know, if they are other people or living persons on other planets, and if there is water to live somewhere, but how you want to live somewhere, because we don't want you up in a planet or somewhere with that behavior, and we talked that already. We told that once. It is like if you want to destroy your planet, destroy it where you are. We don't want you to destroy something which is not yours. So this is very clear. And and so stay where you are and just make it as smoothly to and lovely for everybody. We don't want you fighting somewhere. Very clear.
Diese Energie.
Very clear. And what I want to say, there are a lot of information that I want to give you also in that mathematics right now, this year 2024, which you have in your world, is a year which should transform also the behavior of human beings for the people which are ready to really think about it, to understand, what is going on in the world, and to understand also their own behavior in all that. So there will really right now, on one country, some elections are going on, but nobody will win it because they will have different problems. So I need to you need to understand what you want to reach as human beings, what you want to reach as a tribe, and what you want to reach as a world community. This is the answer on all that. So you have a lot of organizations in your world, but you're always fighting against it. So why you need all these organizations if you even have, if you can't even talk to your neighbor? So, and you have a lot of lawyers, and you just put a lot of of new laws, and you know, you're living in a world which is not free from nothing. And you just transform your world in something which will not, well, right now it really looks that you have it in your hand what you want.
Ja, ja, Sie sprechen diese im Grunde genommen holistische Denkweise an. Holland von ganz, ganz heitlich herkommend. Eine Erinnerung, die Sie in uns wachrufen. Immer wieder auch darauf hinweisen. Sehr deutlich. Ich meine, das haben Sie öfters getan, dass wir uns wirklich entwickeln in einer Art und Weise, die der Welt und uns Menschen und der Erde nicht zuträglich ist.
Exactly, that's what is going on right now. So you know, if you want to really wake up without an earthquake in the morning and without, you know, that volcanic ashes are burning all the things down, just look at your behavior. Yeah, and it's also in history, you know, times were also like that in many decades, in many places, and the world had not that much human beings, and it transformed itself. And it was always war. But you know, for a scientist in your world, you need always to have it black and white and to know everything. But your knowledge goes until, you know, page 99. But our knowledge goes until to page 1 billion something. Yeah. And you need to understand that this knowledge is so much bigger. This frequent knowledge is so much bigger. And this is what we want to tell you, to understand the knowledge of everything, but it's also in your hand what you want. And I want also to transform the messages also in, you know, it's like going, I need to explain it like that you can understand it, because, you know, our knowledge is mathematical and your knowledge is in words or in picture. And it is, you know, to give you right now the picture of what is going on in your world, you know. It is going to the zoo, you know, having all the kinds of animals, the kinds of animals which have lived in your earth and which are living in the future also in your earth, because there will be other and different animals showing up. That was always like that, you know, even if you don't know it. We always told also, if no, you would have dinosaur, and there were dinosaur, and they are not living anymore. But, you know, let me say that the seed of the dinosaur is still on Earth, so that it can transform through gravity and through this, let me say, material changement of the Earth. Of what is, you know, the four forces, it transforms also that new life can go on. And that's why I want to say, you know, it was a zoo and it will get a zoo. And right now it's this transforming period of, if, you know, more the animals which are living in the air are winning the game. Or if, you know, the animals living on Earth, on planet, on Earth, or the animals living in the water, you know, or living under the Earth. So you have also this kind of animals. So you have these four elements, you know, you have these four elements. And right now it's this, let me say, conclusion of which one is winning, you know, to transform, let me say, I don't like to say a new world, but to transform the world in something going on. And this is called evolution. And what I want to say with that, it's up to you which element you are taking on with you as human beings.
Ist es die Entscheidung oder die Handlung auch, also die bewusste Entscheidung jedes Einzelnen? die dort hineinwirkt.
Exactly. Also, very, very much. Yeah. And also to discuss about things like that, and also to transform many laws in your world, and to transform also the thinking of how you're thinking about other people, and to transform also the living, with other people, and the giving and forgiveness also to other people, and also the sharing, with and for other people, and also to transform what you have in your world, in something which is also for everybody and not only for yourself.
Yeah.
And with this element in being, or showing you the zoo and, the animals, it's like also who is eating who right now,
Richtig, yeah.
So you have, animals in the air which are fighting with animals in the air, and also are eating, the animals on the earth, and also animals which are just showing up from in the water.
Yeah.
And you have the animals in the water which are also, eating. It's always the biggest is eating the smallest.
Ja, richtig. Essen, gegessen zu werden.
Exactly. But, and now this but is very interesting. It is the year where you can also, it's like the magic year which you can say, okay, we transform it, that, no one needs to be eaten.
Oh ja, dass diese Informationen eben auf natürliche Weise sich erden können, senken können. Yeah?
Yes, because, also the future animals and also the development in evolution can and are also that if you have, let me say, seeds, if you have water, if you have trees, if you have, every animals just need needs a different food.
Yeah.
But there are animals, they are fighting because they need meat,
Ja, richtig.
But there will be the time where they can eat different things to be there, And there are many animals, they are eating plants.
Ja, richtig.
They don't need to eat, animals and things that they have to fight for something. Yeah. And this is the evolution also in the new kind of what animal needs. Oh, yeah. What I want to say with that is it transforms also human beings.
Absolute. Yeah.
In not needing meat to eat, It is this evolution step which is showing up also with your conscious or not, if you have it or not, that you don't need to fight,
Richtig. Es geht diese
Qualität. Exactly. It goes to this quality that you can have everything from the earth. You can live with berries, you can live with plants, you can eat everything, you don't need to have meat for something. It's, right now you have this information, and it goes also about that. You have these informations in your DNA.
Yeah, richtig.
That you have to fight, and that's why also many people and countries want always to fight, because they have it as a human DNA in their body, in their everything.
Yeah, in dieser Grundinformation.
Exactly, and this is why also evolution, this is why also many tribes, going also back millions of years ago, the evolution steps were always changing, but just in a small part.
Yeah.
But what is going on now, it's a bigger step, and that's why, it is in your hand if you want to transform yourself in and with the evolution.
Yeah.
Or you just die.
Yeah.
Because you can't live, in this transformed world of energetic and frequenced level. And that's why we always say we don't need you, because you are fighters, but we are love. You're speaking about love, and we are, human. We are not human beings. The transformation of these informations are a different DNA to survive.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what we want to say, So it's time in your world. If you want to make, what you want to make, just be sure that it transforms. That's why we always said, by the end of this decade, you will be about 2.7, 2.8 billion people.
Ja, dass es weniger Menschen auf der Erde auch geben wird. Zum einen
and it has to do with all this transformation going on. It was always, the world was always transforming, but it's like the evolution steps are mathematically already given.
Yeah.
And it's not that you just go and, you go to the supermarket and you say, well, today I just want to buy a little bit of evolution and I want to buy a little bit of consciousness. You pay for it and you go out and there is, the big director behind just making money with it. Just forget that bullshit. It really needs to transform your own DNA. And with that step, you can survive. And if not, you're gone.
Yeah.
And you're gone because the evolution, it's not, because of fighting something,
No.
but it's really the evolution step which really transform your DNA. And this is also why gravity is so transforming also people. This is why also many women can't get pregnant because the evolution step is just making a stop in that. And also men, without the man. And just forget that you just build up, new, how you call it, houses of giving birth to babies, artificial babies. Just stop with that because it will never happen. Not even artificially they want to show up.
Yeah.
Evolution is evolution and it has always taken place in your world.
Ja, ich höre Sie spreaden das förmlich.
Yes, well, because it is so important that you understand that, you're just making so many, let me say, unhealthy and unwealthy and also stupid decisions in your world, and you just, fighting for something so little which you not even need to think about it, but you transform everything because it's your DNA, which is so, let me say, it's like, having a DNA which always want to destroy. And now, the DNA, the gravity wants to not destroy, but it wants to change and want to bring and want to give and want to breathe, the beauty out of the earth. And that's why also we said, in all the sessions, if you really want to destroy your world, you can do it, but don't think about that, what things are right now, you will have that in 10 or 20 years, because it's very, very clear that with that year, it is, or you open up, to be conscious, to start really to change your DNA and really changing, and that you just also ask for our help, and also we can help, but you really need to change that, and you can survive, but not everybody, because I can tell you that there are so many tribes and human beings, they don't want to change, and
diese
it
Essenz,
is
Essenz der DNA, die
Sie ansprechen. It's also
die ist so, ich merke einfach, es ist wie, Sie beschreiben das wie das innerste Instrumentarium, was in uns anwesend ist.
Yes, it's like, it's
und
like
wir können, so wir wollen.
Yes, and it's like the perfume of humanity. I need to say it like that. It's like the perfume of humanity, If you want to wear this perfume of humanity, you can wear it, and you need to work also on that. And if you want to destroy it, and you want to have the perfume of what word can I need to take for that, the perfume of something dark, of something to destroy, you can wear also that, It's up to you which kind and how you want to walk around.
Yeah.
And this perfume is something, I need to explain it like that, because, you can't say, well, just tell me how much I am frequent, am I a good person or a bad person? That's not so easy, because your cells, and that's why also medicine will just have also a different, when you think that your medicine, how you have it right now in your world, that this is continuing, in the further steps, and that you just, taking a medication for something, just forget that as well, because frequency is getting over right now. It's really in the air. It's really changing everything. And it is there.
Verändert die Wirkung.
Exactly.
Und zerstört, nivelliert, was auch immer.
Yes. So it is something also important to understand that's why you can't just go and say, okay, now I'm just taking this pill and then I'm conscious and I'm doing that and I just put a little bit of this perfume. Just forget that. It is really getting into yourself. It is like really something so it's merging on like a new flower. Yeah, so need to say it like that. Yeah. It's it's always difficult, but I really try to make the world of gravity, the world of frequency understandable for everybody, and to understand, what is going on in the world, what is going on with you as human beings, and to let you understand also the world, the construct of the world and the mathematics, also the solutions which you have. It's not just, that you can say, well, it's like that, but we are living in the year 2024 and I'm living here and, I have done that until now and I'm doing it. Well, you can do it, but just take also the consequences with you.
Oh, yeah. Und ein wichtiges Wort, die Konsequenz davon auch zu tragen, das immer auch wieder auszusprechen. Es ist auch wichtig für das menschliche Bewusstsein. Wie im Lernprozess als Kind, als Mensch in seinem ganzen Leben. Immer wieder diese Konsequenz, die Reaktion, was löse ich aus?
Yes, and this Welle. And this is mathematics, this is really to understand the book of mathematics, the book of the world, the book of everything, you need to understand also what is going on. So if things are happening and more happening, you know why.
Oh ja. Ja, eben.
Don't ask why.
So exactly. Ist, don't ask why. Als Bewusstsein zuzulassen.
Yes.
Dort, dass wir als Gesellschaft dort auch wieder uns bewegen, wirklich hinwenden und nicht nur anhaften an dem, was wir bisher erschaffen haben, was wichtig war. Aber es ist nicht alles.
Yes,
und sie kommen im Augenblick, im Moment und tun uns eigentlich wie ein bisschen so den Kopf ein bisschen lüften.
I just put a little bit of the good perfume down there,
richtig.
Yes, that we are also joking about you down on Earth. And we always say, well, Stone Ages are just, implementing something new and destroying. And, it's like also to see how we want to communicate with us. It's like, being and looking on cooking pans, that you want to just have all these metal things and that you think that we just transform our informations into, and that you can cook with it, let me say it like that. But we laugh also about your intelligence down there, and we laugh also about ours because, we don't know how to show you also the informations of what the world could be and can be, for everybody, not just for somebody or just for some tribes or for some people or for some human beings. So understand that the whole thing is the whole thing, and it's you as an individually person, or you have to. You are saying in your world, go with the flow, but go with the flow, with which flow you want to go, with the good perfume or with the bad perfume. So this is the question, what you need to tell yourself and to ask for yourself and also tell yourself. But as you know, that we are very solidary also with you down there, and we want to wish you and give you and bring you the good perfume, that you have this very, let me say, quality to understand also our words and how mathematics is done, and to understand what is going on also right now on Earth.
Darf ich Sie fragen, wie lange in der Zeitrechnung auch dieser Evolutionsschritt noch andauern wird? Also das ist nicht eine genaue Zeitangabe, aber Sie sprechen explizit im letzten Jahr hat das wie begonnen, sich wie so zu entpuppen, zu zeigen, auch es kam wie an die Erdoberfläche, und jetzt im 2024 spricht und liest und hört man überall, dass wir in dieser Evolutionsveränderung sind, dass die eben Elemente so stark zu ich möchte fast sagen, zuschlagen. Es ist so heftig, was passiert. Wie lange geht diese Veränderung, these times of change?
Yes, you know that our mathematical fields are so completely different that you can't understand the mathematics, how it's made. You know, you have different. I need to explain it like that. You have, well, starting from a city. I don't want to put a name on it, you know. Starting from a city, you have so many different roads to go around the world, to go back, you know, just really to go around the world and to start in a city and to get there again, you know. So you have so many roads that you can take, and these many roads, I want to say, and transform it in mathematical fields. So every second that you are ruling, let me say, with your car, that you can make this big trip around the world, you are entering a different mathematical field. And this mathematical field are so there, it's such a complexity that, you know, saying it in a time release that you need, and you want to know the time release in your world, it's impossible, because it started last year, but this year it's like, you know, a big evolution step, you know, starting it. So it's a big field of mathematics, really, really, really showing up. And to give you just a little bit, let me say, to know a little bit, so the next 10 to 12 years will be very, let me say, on one hand exciting, but on the other hand also, you have to work down there.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want to say. And with all and with these steps, you know, you can't stop evolution. So just don't think to stop evolution. You can't do it. You know, you are a human being. You can't stop evolution. You can't stop the mathematics. You can't transform it in something better for yourself. You know, because it wants to give you also something good. But you need also to transform it in transforming in something good, and right now you're transforming it in something bad. What we told also before. So it starts now, and so it is. That's why it transforms itself so much in these upcoming years. And then it goes on and it goes on, and you know, I can't say it needs another 280 years until it transforms to something good, to something very beautiful, but it transforms so much during that time. But in 280 years, nobody of you is there. But they are other human beings, but much less than now, with a completely different, let me say, living. They're living differently.
Oh ja, das denke ich. Ich meine, 280 Jahre, wenn wir das andenken, wenn es mir recht ist, ist das der Zyklus des Uranus.
Yes.
Ist das richtig? Ja. Die Umlaufzeit, die zyklische einmal. Von 280
It's transforming. It's very, very much transforming.
Ist ja auch jetzt im Augenblick. Wir haben diese Uranus-Jupiter-Konjunktur, die morgen stattfindet.
Yes, you know, in your world you need to, or also hundreds of years ago, you know, human beings needed to see something and they knew it, you know, because they had other forces and their frequency were frequenced on, you know, what they have seen in stars and in the sky, because they were different. They were a frequency completely different. That's why also the Mayas could really, they were they could live with it, you know. They were on one hand
und lesen, erkennen.
Yes, and this is something which all the decades of many years it was lost. But you had in your history, you had always, well, you called it prophet, or you called it, you know, a knower, you called it a healer, you called it, you know, you just had different names for it. But there were people that had just a different frequency and they could just tell things completely different. So also all this about 500 years ago, you know, all this, let me say, they were informant, you know, at that time. They were very, let me say, open, and they say things which was impossible to understand at that time. But right now you understand what he said at that time. So what I'm saying right now, it's for many people, it's not understandable. They think, the crazy stars, crazy bullshit, is coming from above. But you need to understand that it starts to transform, and it regulates also right now what is going on. So it regulates also life right now on Earth, or not life as well. Yeah. So to understand that, it's really, frequency mathematics is something really just getting one into, it's like, they are like twins, but you need to understand both of it.
Sehr passende, sehr stimmige Beschreibung.
Yes, and you need to understand both of it, that you can understand what is going on in your world, what is going on with you as human beings. And now also, let me say, and this is also something which I need to speak out, you have in your world right now, in every country, you have much young people, just fighting. They don't know, if they are, but parents and they don't know what to do with their children because they transform themselves in something. So, let me say, they have like an animal instinct. And many are just really many young people, and I'm so sorry for them, are transforming their DNA. But, this DNA and this frequency, it's something, if you don't know that, they start to kill, they start to make, suicide. They start to, they started also, it's not that they start now, but they transformed many people also in danger. They transform, their daily living in something so, in a complex of unnatural thing, and many of them are also just putting their mind and their brain, let me say it like that, in computer games. They just don't want to transform their DNA, to put the I need to say it like that to put the frequency in their DNA, so I don't want to say let them play, these games, so they can't just do it in the games and not in the outside. Yeah. So it is, I don't like to say it, but you need to understand, if you take that away, it's a disaster in your world.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to understand how much, this DNA and this frequency are really twins together, and you don't have a medicine for that. So just don't think that you just put and give pills that to take this away. Evolution is an evolution step is not to tranquil. You can't give a tranquilizer for not doing these evolution steps. So you need to understand.
Ist
in the DNA.
Ja, und es ist die Medizin, wenn man so will.
Not for everybody, but also a lot of young people and also elderly people, they don't want to know it. And that's why also criminality will also change their character in the future.
Also mehr mit künstlicher Intelligenz? Oder
not only also, but you need to understand, really to understand how frequency works in and for and without and for and with and in human beings. You need to understand that, and this is something that you still don't know. That's why it is so dangerous also for many people of you. And to understand that, you really need to have a different focus on what is evolution, what is gravity, what is frequency, how you can read frequency, and how you can also stop. Well, it's not stopping, but you know to have the solution, and the solution is not the laws which you have right now down there, but for you it's like we don't needed to have it black and white, and we want it like that, and we don't know, so we just did it like that always and until now, and that's what we know. But for the future and starting this year, you need to have more information.
Ja, ich ahne, was Sie hier wiederbringen. So dankbarerweise auch in Bildern, die Sie uns da aufzeigen, so wie hineinleuchten, wie wenn der Spot hineinleuchtet im Film an eine gewisse Dimension, an eine Wand hinein, wo drauf auf dieser Wand sich etwas abspielt. Wir ahnen und gleichzeitig wissen wir und kennen wir genau das, was Sie beschreiben.
Yes, it's your knowledge, and you're focused on something old, and we are focused in something new. Richtig. And we want to tell you the news, we want to bring you the news, Exactly. Yeah, but it is like, it's not transformable if you just have this cooking pots, on your, how you say it, and you think that, with your cooking pots, we can release you all the information from above,
Yeah, ich kann sie
cooking, they are not frequenced, they are, maybe you think that they are frequenced, but with gravity they are not frequenced anymore, so you can wait, you're waiting for aliens, what you understand for aliens, what you think that aliens are.
Yeah.
Just give yourself this answer, just answer that.
Eben, deshalb sagte ich vorhin auch, dieser Evolutionsschritt, der jetzt so einhergeht, das ist wie eine tiefe Heilung, eine Medizin, wenn man so will, aber insgesamt, es geht wirklich um alles, um alles.
Yes, exactly, and it is a lot, so, even, let me say that in your world you have a president for this, you have a counselor for that, and you have this, and you have everything on black and white, but you understand, the solution. You don't need to have a paper or to be somebody. You really need also to understand, what is frequency, and frequency is also in your heart. So this is also something, but many, many, many human beings, and that's why also the evolution step is there also to, it's like, I explained to you with the animals, and this is also going on now with human beings. So if, the frequency is, let me say, not to survive, it will not survive. So there will be families which will not have children and grandchildren because it stops there. This is evolution as well. If no, you would have still dinosaur in your, you will have always the seed of human being, but you will not have this kind of seed, to go on in the world.
Das Leben.
Exactly.
Die Frequenz wird überleben.
Exactly.
Die Essenz.
Exactly. Yes.
Ja. Ist das auch der Grund, warum Sie heute auch durch Milady hier sind, anwesend sind, einfach so? Es birgt ja so eine Dimension, die Sie hier wiedergeben. Gesprochen durch Milady.
It's a high, she's very high frequency. She's very high frequency.
Ich denke immer wieder, warum taucht das heute?
Yes, so and she's not eating, you have a lot of things that you are eating because you want to be a nice person and you want to have muscles and you want to have that, she's just a regular, she's just a regular person. She likes also chocolate, so, it's not something that you can really, it's not something, you know her very well. You can't say, you need to eat this and you have to make that, to be a good person. It's really, the high frequency. Yes. Yeah. Well, we can say, what you need. It's also that when people, let me say also, it is a start, that people say, well, I don't eat meat, but, it's not eating meat and be vegan or how you call it, down there. It's not, that you just, it's like a little start to change your DNA, but you have your DNA from your parents. So if you are not eating meat, it's not that you're just completely different, because so that you can understand how evolution is going on. Yeah. So if you eat meat today and you eat meat tomorrow, you need to have this bigger frequency, and there's many people, they don't have it. And what I need to say as well, there will be so many also elderly people and also young people, also dying away. I know that this is always something hard for families and also something that people don't want to know, because you are also asking yourself why so many young people are just dying away. You need to understand that the dying process is also a frequency process. And to understand now what we talk today, you can understand also what I mean with that. And, so it is because science in your world is really looking and searching why, and you are open bodies and, you're just cutting, and you always want to have a response to put it in black and white. But you can put a response in black and white if you don't know about frequency. And frequency is not something that you just go to hospital and say, just, measure my frequency. So just forget that. That you understand also the reason why people will die now in the future much more, and it's not a disease behind it, and it's not something that you need to understand. Well, you will not understand it with your brain, let me say it like that, or with your knowledge.
Richtig.
Ja, you need to be more advanced. Yeah, well, no, you need to be more advanced as well, yes.
Ja, es ist eine Bewusstseinserweiterung.
That's evolution, yes.
Nur mit dem Bewusstsein kommen wir auch da dran. Sprich, wie Saint-Exupéry so schön sagt, man sieht nur mit dem Herzen gut.
Yes, this is something that, you know, writing it and doing it, you know, it's
nochmal
it's a very
Quantensprung weiter.
Oh yes, yes, a lot of frequency in between. Well, you know, we can just really send you a lot of perfume just to.
Oh, gern von dem feinen.
Yes,
schönen,
just to bring you, you know, a little bit. This frequency, this frequency, let me say, yes, to make you, how you call that, how you say it, to make you drunken, to make you drunken, you know, with this very spirit of change, spirit of change, I will call it like that. Yes, and to understand how things are going on, yes. You need to understand that, and many people will maybe ask themselves why you are there right now on Earth to have this procedure. You are free, even if you have bones and a heart and organs. That's why also, well, you know, they want people want to transplant their organs, you know, but you can't transform something which is in one frequency and you want to put it in another frequency and think, you know, that it works like it was, you know, in the first body. Just forget that. And now you produce medication that, you know, they survive. Everybody in your world they need to know what they want to do, but need to understand also how frequency works. And it's not the medicine which helps you to survive.
Ja, sehr bildhaft beschrieben.
Yes.
Danke.
Well, we send you a lot of perfume. Very much. We want you really to invite you. Yes, to invite this, let me say, this very beautiful, let me say, I don't want to say, it's like, you know, for because you need to transform, now you need to a transcription of perfume, you know, you want it in roses, you want it vanilla, you want it chocolate, you want it everything. It is a perfume which is still not known in your world. The fragrance of that is so beautiful, so pure and so elevated and so grateful also and so lovely. And this is what we want to send to you in a lovely message, which was today. And I'm very happy that we could do that, you know, and that to transform also this mathematics into words that you know what is going on in your world. Well, thank you always, and thank you so much. You know, thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, and hear you and listen to you next time. And I hope, you know, also that, you know, Stone Ages are a little bit more awakened, if I can say it like that. You know, to understand, you know, what is going on in the world. Yes.
Lieben Dank.
Yes, thank you so much. I say goodbye to you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.